Hi, how are you people? May God bless you, may God protect you. So actually, I don't want to waste much of your time. I have an illustration that I want to do, and this has been coming over and over and over again, but I've not been having time to come out and do it. But right now I have a little bit of time, so I was like, let me do this illustration because it has been coming like over and over and over again, but maybe to help out someone there, and I believe that it will. So actually, I'm outside here. As you can see there, it's an outside view, and around me there are trees. Around me there are trees. It's more like a bushy, it's more like nature. So actually, I'm out here. It's more like a bushy thing, a bushy place. So I want to illustrate one. I want to give you one illustration of what I saw and what the lesson that I got from it. So I have two trees that I want to illustrate on. So as you can see, this is a tree. Hope you're able to see it. This is it starts from here. It's a very small tree, and I have a bigger tree here. And let me try to put the front straight. So I have a bigger tree here and a small tree here. And these two trees, I categorize them in two. Who are these two? These are two believers. So believers, and can I say believers, they're in two categories. There are those who are grounded and rooted like this tree. There are those believers who are grounded and rooted like this tree. No matter how much I shake it, see, no matter how much I shake this thing, maybe the leaves can fall. If I keep on doing a lot of pressure, the leaves can fall, but the tree itself cannot fall. Why? Because it is grounded and rooted. And like this tree, this small tree, this tree, I'll put it up later. This tree is like those Christians who are not grounded and rooted. They can be grounded, but they are not rooted. There's a difference between being grounded and being rooted. You can be grounded, but you're not rooted. Because when you are rooted, you cannot be easily plucked. But you can be on the ground and you can be plucked. So this tree is grounded. No matter how much I pull it, see, I'm pulling it. It cannot come out. I'm trying to push it. It cannot come out. Why? Because it is on the ground and it is rooted. Not only is it on the ground, but it is rooted. As I said, no matter how much I shake this, it somehow, somewhere, the leaves can fall, but the tree will still stand. These are the kind of Christians that no matter what comes their way, they will still stand. No matter what shaking comes, they will still stand. No matter how much they are pulled, they will still stand. No matter how much they are pushed, they will still stand. Why? Because they are grounded and rooted, and nothing can change about it. So, as a child of God, you need to be grounded and rooted in the ways of God, in the things of God. You need to be grounded because anything can shake you. See, this tree, when flood comes, it will be hard for it to be out of the ground, to be removed out of the ground. Why? Because the roots are deep. And even if the wind comes, it will blow the leaves out, but it will still be standing. So both sides, the down part and the top part, is balanced. It is balanced. It is stable. Now when I talk about this, these are the kind of Christians that can never be shaken. They have rooted themselves into the word of God. Nothing can move them. Nothing can shake them. They know God for themselves, and they know what the word of God says. And I want to talk about these other believers. This is also a tree. Remember, both of them are trees. This is also a tree. And this represents those Christians that are grounded, but they are not rooted. So it's easy to be, you can be grounded, but you're not rooted. You're not rooted in the word of God. You're not rooted in knowing God. You're not rooted in seeking God. So it's very easy for you to be moved. See, when wind comes, this one, see, even when I'm shaking, it's bending on itself. It's bending on itself. So, in as much as this is a tree, in as much as this is also on the ground, but it is not rooted. Let me give you an example. Hope you're able to see. This is a tree. Remember this one, when I put it up, push it out, do what, it's not coming out. But this one, I don't even need to use any strength. I'll just put it. See, the roots are out. It's out together with the roots. Why? Because it is grounded. but it is not rooted. It is grounded, but it is not rooted. How many Christians, I'm asking you who's watching me right now, are you grounded and rooted? Being grounded is not enough, but you have to be rooted. That's why if you are not rooted, you'll be like this tree that can easily be blown out. See, when wind comes, this thing can easily blow out. When flood comes, this thing can easily be washed out. Why? Because the roots are not deep. Because when you build yourself in the word of God, when you dip yourself with the word of God, by fellowshipping, by coming to the understanding of the word of God, you cannot be easily moved. Many people are saying that we know God, we love God, they claim Christianity, they claim all these things, but their lifestyle, you can tell they are not grounded, they are not rooted. How can you know a person that is not grounded and rooted in the ways of God? One, when anything that they hear, they move with it. They don't go and seek God for God to show them by themselves. This is why when somebody comes and tell you that no, your mother is a witch, you go after it. You cannot even stand and pray about it. Why? Because you are just moved by where the wind takes you, or by where the flood come and wash you and take you. Why? Because you're not grounded. But if you are grounded in the word, if somebody comes to tell you that you are a witch, your mother is a witch, or whoever is your witch, guess what? You go into the closet and pray. And pray. And let me tell you, being grounded and rooted, it's not in how many years you have been a Christian. There are people who have been Christians over, maybe can I say 5 years, 6 years. But when you find them, they just go and fulfill church programs. They just go and go to church and come back. But when we talk about the word of God, how they handle the things of the spirit, they are children. And there are some people who have been who became born again like a year. When you hear them, when you see how they carry themselves, when you see how the faith that they develop, when you see them, you can tell that they are grounded and rooted. See, most of the time, maturity in the things of God, it's different from the way we mature physically. I mean, quite okay. I've grown, right? I'm growing into a lady. I've grown into a lady. I've taken the years that I was born up to now. But when it comes to the spiritual, it's how you pursue. Your growth comes to how you seek, how you pursue, and how you long for God, and how you indulge yourself in the things of God. That's how you grow. So you can be a Christian for 20 years, but you are still not grounded. You are not rooted. And you can be a Christian just for 2 years, 1 year, but you are rooted and grounded. I want to ask you, how many of you here can say that you are like this tree that I easily put, that anyone that comes to give you false prophets, for anything false, you are carrying everything. You cannot even filter if it is God that is speaking or if it is God that is not speaking. Or how many of you are like this, whereby you can never be shaken no matter what comes your way? How many are like this tree? And how many are like this tree? This time, look at this tree, I'm even handling it. So meaning that I can put it and take it anywhere. I can put it anywhere. Why? Because the roots are not because it is not rooted. So I came to encourage you right now. Ask yourself, am I a tree that is grounded and rooted? I'll just give you an example of the two trees. Are you a kind of a tree, this kind of a tree, or are you a kind of this tree that I just showed you, that is grounded and rooted and can never be moved by either wind or flood? Or are you a kind of person that can be easily moved by either by wind, by anything, any circumstances that come your way? You can be moved, you can be shaken, you can be done anything up and down, you can be turned up and down. I want to encourage you. Remember, desire to grow, desire to learn, desire to know God. Christianity is growth. You cannot maintain and continue being a baby. You need to grow. You need to grow in the things of God. How you dedicate yourself with the things of God, it matters. So, I'm leaving you with a question. And examine yourself, answer yourself. Are you this tree? Or are you this tree? You know yourself, and And if you know, you discover that you are this tree, work hard to be like this tree, where you should not be easily shaken. So I just want to tell you that may God bless you. Remember, your growth, somebody depends on your growth. Somebody depends on your growth. So this tree has got its own thing that is coming out because it is now stable. So if this was not stable, nothing could have grown from it. So your growth, somebody depends on your growth. Desire to learn, desire to pursue God, desire to seek God, and be grounded and rooted in the ways of God. May God protect you, may God cover you, may God take you higher and higher. I love you, and keep the fire burning. Remember to be grounded and rooted, not only grounded. You can be grounded, but don't deceive yourself that you are rooted. If you know you're not, if anything shakes you, then you are not rooted. You can be grounded, but you're not rooted. So be grounded and be rooted. I love you, and keep the fire burning. I love you, and there's nothing that you can do about it. Bye-bye.